is the place to be tonight as fans get pumped up for this all-Canadian matchup between the Montreal Victoire and the Ottawa Charge.
Let's meet your starting goaltenders, Gwyneth Phillips, who has come in seamlessly with the injury of Emmerich Maschmeyer. You look at her record so far, 5 wins in the 8 starts in backfilling Maschmeyer. She's won the last 2 meetings against the Victoire. And at the other side, for Anne-Renée Desbiens, well, she's the winningest goaltender at the Women's Worlds. She's got Olympic gold, she's got world gold, but she has never earned a playoff win. Can she do that here tonight? She led in all categories in the regular season. She'll look to apply that into playoff hockey.
Larocque getting it early, feeds it in deep into Montreal's zone. Worth noting, Ottawa Charge without Jinsey Rose here in their lineup. Jen Gardner to center for the Victoire. Into the corner will go. Rose just battling a little banged up right now, so not in the lineup. We'll see if she can enter before the end of this series for Ottawa.
You see Jocelyn Larocque with Marie-Philippe Poulin in the corner, and very familiar on the national stage together, and you would be recognizing that likely Carla McLeod, as we spoke to her before the game, said, listen, everyone's got to be aware when Poulin's on the ice. We don't have home ice advantage. Everyone's got to have their head on swivel.
Poulin has scored 5 goals against the Charge when you include her shootout winner. As Wilgren tries for a high shot, gets blocked in front, and Steph Markowski plays some of her best hockey against the Victoire. 3 of 5 points have come against Montreal. Out in front, looking to get in on net against Desbiens. Down low, Vanisheva digging up against Barnes. Puck rolls to the corner. Brianne Jenner, who has certainly elevated her game as of late, drops it off, a shot in front. Desbiens makes a pad save, but D'Arcangelo rolls off. Another player who's had an excellent season, you think just last year for D'Arcangelo, just 1 assist. She got 17 points this season.
And you look for Ottawa, will want to play off the rush. They lead the league in their rush opportunities in the slot. They're a quick team. They're very fast. Carla McLeod talked about her depth and the speed, and I expect them that they can quickly transition, Kenzie. That's going to be the kicker for them, is to move the puck north fast and try and gain speed through the neutral zone.
Head coach Corey Chevrier on the other side, aware of that transition game, said certainly that's one of Ottawa's greatest threats, so they'll need to be mindful of that throughout this series. Savolainen, who brings in 6 STHL championship wins with Lulia, looks to feed Leslie, the birthday girl, 29 here this evening. Easing up for playoff hockey with Ottawa this time around.
Well, that's exactly what Montreal want to do. You'll see how Ottawa turn that puck back. They'll want to push them back into their zone and see if they can turn the puck over with Montreal's heavy forecheck, who love to dump pucks in and recover them.
The Fleet swept Montreal last season in the playoffs. All 3 games went to overtime. Not game 2, a triple overtime deciding game. A game that was 4 hours and 47 minutes. It was Wenskowski that found the score sheet for Boston, but it's a new season, new personnel here for Montreal as they look to put the past in the past and move forward with this brand new group and build off of their strong regular season play. Jen Gardner looking for an early change as Murphy keeps a close eye. Anna Wilgren takes it in over the blue line, far pass. Maureen trying to settle the puck, has support to the backhand. Maureen Murphy tries for a chance for the Victoire. Murphy has certainly elevated her game last year in the playoffs. Montreal's most productive player. She'll go for a change as Poulin works down low. Has Maureen. She'll scan, looking for a blue line pass to Barnes. She'll chase after it.
But an original opportunity comes off Wilgren, a strong one-on-one. And then, of course, because she was able to close in the neutral zone, she is the quick counter, and they get in.
As they try for a stretch pass, looking for Laura Stacey. Phillips not afraid to challenge. Stacey down low now, looking for Gardner in up front. This trio, the best line in hockey, contributed 45% of Montreal's scoring all season long. Emily Clark, who's been the Charge's most consistent goal scorer this season, looks for Anna McMahon on the near side.
And Laura Stacey will be all around the net, and that's what she does. She looks to drive the dot, and she looks for the wraparound quite often.
As Poulin picks up the puck now on the far side for Montreal. Ahead for Stacey, back for Poulin. She'll try for a shot just high and over the net to Phillips. Poulin still in control to the blue line. Grant Mentes down low. Montreal's record quite well. Grant Mentes picks up a point, 6-1 when she registers one this season. Boulier now down low for Montreal, who was part of that Vanisheva trade, and Corey Chevrier saying one of the best moves they could have ever made. She couldn't imagine this Victoire team without Boulier, one of those
glue pieces for Montreal.
up high. Miralova to Venishova. Of course, no Jinsey Rose, who often plays on the power play for Ottawa. We'll keep a watchful eye on. Venishova, one-time shot, tipped out in front. This power play brought to you by Royal Tiger Towel Paper Towel. Power through tough messes. As Montreal tries for the clear. Kept in the zone by Terralova. Venishova takes a look here for Ottawa. Slows up pace on the half boards. Up high for Terralova. She'll try for the shot. Blocked by Gray Mentes. Venishova, secondary chance. Back door. She scores! Brianne Jenner, the captain in Ottawa's on the board.
That's the start exactly that Carla McLeod and Ottawa wanted. They get on the power play. They've got 3 up high. Because of this inability to clear the puck, you've got that 3 up high, but you can see Dark Angelo, and Jenner's going to find herself coming backdoor, and this puck's going to make its way up high. You've got 3 up high, you've got 2 down low, but Jenner's a right-handed shot, so that seam's going to open itself up, and wow, what an explosion. And she's going to beat Emerine Desbiens post to post on this one. Looks like she doesn't have a great angle, but she has the connection. And you said it right from the opening. Brianne Jenner has been playing her best hockey at the end of the year in those meaningful games. The captain coming up huge for her team.
A historic goal for Ottawa Charge. It's Brianne Jenner, their captain, that scores her first ever playoff goal, and a big one on the power play. But she has really been heating up. 4 goals in her last 7 games coming into this matchup. And Ottawa in the driver's seat up against the Victoire. We knew special teams was going to be important in the playoffs. No bigger surprise than that goal there. Kristen O'Neill, who was a power play specialist last year for the Victoire, looking on the far side. And it's a great feed for Caitlin Willoughby. She'll steal the puck back. Willoughby now on the backhand for the Victoire. Cuts back. Wilgren on net, looking for a tip. Phillips gets the pad out. What a stop by Gwyneth Phillips. In her first playoff game, a veteran save for the Charge goaltender. As Montreal looks to even the scoring. Poulin deep in the corner for Montreal, trying to outwork Bach. Up high, Ambrose with a one-time shot, tipped in front, but trickles to the corner. Stacey recovers for Tabin. She'll go D to D. Dubois is going to go for a change. She's really found the score sheet as of late. 3 goals in 3 consecutive games now for the Quebec native.
And those second shot opportunities, and that's where Montreal is so strong. Their first in puck recovery, you can see how they jump in the O-zone to recover the puck and keep play alive. That's something that Ottawa has to be very mindful of, and they will be in around the paint looking to get their sticks on those second shots. You saw it with Dubois. Phillips makes an outstanding save.
A huge power play goal by the Charge, courtesy of their captain, Brianne Jenner. They only had 1 power play goal and 11 chances in their series against the Victoire in the regular season, and that 1 power play goal was their first ever meeting to kickstart the regular season as Clark tries for a backhand shot. Larocque looking to feed it on net, but Breen steals it back. Montreal again with numbers. Marie Murphy picks up the loose puck. Murphy in over the lines, and it's a great poke check by Ashton Bell. Murphy not done yet with the secondary effort, trying for a tip in front by Youngblood. The Victoire finding a new level to their game since the Charge have opened the scoring.
Well, one of the things that they will look to do is really hound those pucks, Ken. They'll work to move that puck from below the goal line in and around that slot area. It's something that they're strong at.
Outside shot into the glove of Gwyneth Phillips. Playoff hockey underway in Montreal. Brianne Jenner, her first ever playoff goal for herself and for this organization.
You think about the meaningful games, 2 goals in her last 3 games as well, Ken. And so stepping up at the right time, and both coaches will tell you what's happened in the past doesn't matter. It's about the game that they're in right now. And Jenner lighting the lamp.
She was able to tie that game up against Toronto just 53 seconds after Sarah Nurse opened the scoring in that must-win game for the Charge. It was Katerina Mrazova with the overtime winner as she tried to feed Venishova there in front, who picked up the assist, and Terralova as well getting her first playoff point.
You just like the way they worked 3 high, and that just drew the coverage up high, which opened up that cross seam to Jenner. Venishova saw it, but there was a wide gap. A lot of room to thread that needle.
Look at the regular season stats on the power play for the Chargers this season. The worst across the league, 14.9%. Just 11 power play goals for. Also the fewest When it's playoff hockey, a lot can change. A brand new series between these two teams. Montreal did win 4 of the 6 meetings this season, but it's the Charge that won the final 2. Mrazova looking to stay onside. Gabby Hughes looking for some room as Leslie finds her own space. Down low for Mrazova. Up high for Larocque. Takes a look near side for Bell. She'll fake the shot. Trying to outwork Dara Gregg as they'll block it in front. It'll be Keppel.
When that puck went to the point, 3 Charge players went right to the net in front of Desbiens and Ashton Bell, just trying to get it through to the net, and you can expect a lot of traffic. That's one of the areas I think the Ottawa Charge need to find their game in, and that's getting second shot opportunities.
Ryan Keppel, who leads the league in block shot, 60 after the end of the regular season. Poulin holding on to this puck. Gardner, great hand-eye coordination, takes it to the corner. Stacey, one-time shot, save made by Phillips. They'll try again. Gardner starting the cycle with Poulin. She'll get tied up by Larocque, who doesn't have her stick. Gardner breaks free to the blue line. Ambrose snaps it near side for Katie Taven, who got the delay of game penalty that led to Jenner's goal. Or Stacey down low for Montreal, looking to respond. Stacey holding, lets the shot go as Phillips hubs her post.
This is quite a shift for that top line, and they're going to look for specific matchups, but Poulin's going to enter, go 1-on-3, and she's going to actually pause. She's going to change her pace, allow her line mates to catch up, and now they have sustained possession, and they can get the look that they want using the ice that's available.
Poulin scored 2 goals in their final regular season game against New York. 4 goals. 2 assists in her last 5 games. Poulin also playing some of her best hockey. These two teams peaking at the right time. Taven down low for Montreal. Looking for Gardner near side. We'll look to break this puck out. Kept in the zone. Markowski. Here alongside Taylorova, where we often see Jency Rose. Not in this game. A little banged up right now for the Charge. We'll move forward with Markowski. Boyd and Taylorova here. Taylorova in the zone for Ottawa. Trying to outwork Taven, sends it to the blue line. Markowski. 1 goal, 2 assists in her series against Montreal this season. As Montreal's getting hemmed in their own zone. A penalty on the way. Montreal's going to go to the power play. Desbiens off to the bench as Gardner fires it in.
Montreal to the power play when we return. Charge lead 1-0. Brianne Jenner, the lone goal scorer. Montreal scored just 4 goals last year in the playoffs. 3 came on the power play. 2 of those from Kristen O'Neill. As they'll look to tie this up.
It was Jenner that opened on the power play for Ottawa. As Montreal will look to do the same to make this a 1-1 game. Ambrose, quick pass over to Gardner. Montreal's top power play unit to work. Down low, it'll be Gardner. Taking a look here, up high for Ambrose. Trying to outwork Venetia Van down low. Poulin makes the shot on net, and Phillips will hold. This power play brought to you by Royale Tire Town Paper Towel. Power through tough messes. Ambrose in front, looking for a tip. It's Gardner. The puck's loose, wanted away. Kept in the zone, though, as Ambrose settles. Stacey, 4 power play goals on the season to lead the Victoire. Tees one up. She'll find Ambrose. Far side pass. Ambrose still looking for her first goal of the season. Long shot, blocked in front. Loose puck. Poulin finds Stacey. Or Stacey to Poulin. The captain feeds Ambrose. She'll work the line. Got a minute gone here in Montreal's power play. Trying for a shot on net. The rebound's there. Phillips makes the save. Wow, what a stop by Gwyneth Phillips.
Well, you're seeing a lot of motion. You see Poulin working up high from her onside to her offside. And I think this is also to distract the coverage, because who are they going to be looking for, Ken? They're going to be looking for number 29, right? And so you know that movement causes the coverage to move, but you got Kayla Barnes net front. You got 2 athletes net front looking to crash and bang anything in and around the net.
The rebounds are there as Montreal looks to find them. Taven out in front. She scores! Marie Murphy ties it up.
Well. Specialty teams power plays that are 5-6 in the league, and they both strike. But you can see Taven, look at that evasiveness, shielding the puck. You got 3 players operating almost in a triangle net front. I mean, look at that ability to get low, get the stick available to make the pass. Your body doesn't have to be available, but when your blade of your stick is, you can make that pass. And you've got 2 players driving the net, Dubois and Murphy, who's going to get her first of this year's playoff. outstanding right from the entry, led by Katie Tabin and finished off by Murphy, who led the Victoire in the playoffs last year with a goal and 2 assists in her 3 games against the Fleet.
Maureen Murphy is made for playoff hockey. She got a point in every single playoff game last year. Last year, her lone goal came on the power play, and she does it again in 2025 to make this a tie game. We are off to the races here in period number 1 between the Victoire and Charge. It's game 1 of the 2025 PWHL playoffs presented by Shark Ninja. Jenner down low looking to respond as Desbiens makes the save. So Maureen Murphy makes this a 1-1 game. Tabin and Wilgren picking up the assists. Renmentez finds Claire Dalton on the near side for Montreal. She steps in, drops the shoulder, protects the puck out in front. No one's home.
Ottawa's got to find a way to deny that entry a little bit better. Their coverage is sagging. If you leave a lot of ice available, the Victoire will take advantage.
O'Neill looking to start the cycle to the blue line for Tabin. Her shot blocked by Leslie. Meitzner chasing Ambrose. Now Meitzner now, as Ambrose makes the pass from her knees, kept in the zone by Ottawa. Loose puck into the corner it will go. Ambrose goes after it. Leslie not far behind. One of 4 players here in the Ottawa Charge that come in with playoff experience from Toronto. LaRock being another, Vasco, Buck, and Leslie. Leslie's scored in the playoffs last year for Toronto. When Spooner went down, she was the only player to score a goal in the final 2 games. It was Bach that helped make that play possible. The 2 with that Boston University chemistry carrying over now, looking to build off of that in Ottawa. Tabin down low for Montreal, moves it ahead. For Dubois, she'll look up ice, has Caitlin Willoughby with her, and she'll fire it in and go for a change.
Well, Dubois barely was able to handle that puck and get it in deep. I mean, she was really laboring coming up the ice off to that block shot with her left arm.
Aaron Ambrose said earlier this week, the depth of this team is really showing for Montreal as of late. Dubois, big story to that. And their blue line, as Stacey tried to feed Gardner net front, Charge steal the puck away.
Well, and that's Laura Stacey's speed, right? It's straight line, and she's going toe-to-toe there with Jocelyn LaRock, who had to turn. And if you got to turn to catch up with Laura Stacey, you're going to be in trouble.
LaRock pushed off the puck along the boards, has support as Bach looks to help her out. They'll feed it in the zone as Desbiens settles it. A 1-1 game in period number 1 of game 1 between the Charge and the Victoire.
That's great positioning by Vasco.
Serdachny to the far side. She'll look for a shot here. Poke checked away by Gardner, and it's a foot race. Gardner, Markowski, Phillips joining in on the rush, and she'll be the first one to it. Charge back to the player advantage. Taylorova taking a look. Far side pass for Jenner. Stepping down, she'll go for the pass. And then a Taylorova. Venisheva, one-time shot redirected as Desbiens had to make a challenging save. It went off the shin pad of Maureen. Venisheva will look to set up again. Incredible season she has had this year. 22 points to lead the Charge. In front, looking for Jenner in the slot. Razovan Jenner working it on the far side. 2 players that were the difference makers in that must-win game against Toronto to punch their ticket to the postseason. Razova below the goal line, up for Venisheva. Taylorova finding Jenner in front. It's Venisheva dropped down. A great look by Brianne Jenner. Venisheva, another pass, this time to her Czech teammate Taylorova. Razova. 3 checks working up high for the Charge. Down low to Jenner. Into the glove of Desbiens. The whistle will sound as Desbiens felt she got an extra push there to the right of her crease. Short-handed. Stacey with speed. Minute gone on the Charge second power play of the game. They'll look to set up as Stacey's calling for a change. She'll head off. Fresh legs for the Victoire. Maureen Murphy to the ice on this kill. Serdachny is looking for an angle. She comes up big in must-win games. Goals in back-to-back gold medal games for Serdachny with Team Canada. Now on this power play.
Well, she's on the power play, and interesting, you look at her last game, she's just played over 8 minutes, but in her opening game of the season, she was at 16, so ice time been cut in half over the course of the season.
Those 8 minutes, the fewest minutes she has played all season long. Venisheva down low. Victoire send 3. Under 10 seconds remaining on this charge power play. It's D'Arcangelo on the far side. A huge acquisition for Mike Hirschfeld and the Charge. That trade was big for them. Venisheva as well. As Keppel comes out of the box, 1-5-on-5. Fresh out of the box. Mariah Keppel has a break. Keppel to the far side. It's 1-on-1. She has Barnes with her. But another great stick by Ashton Bell, keeping the Victoire at bay. Two shots landing on that power play for the Charge as they're back on the attack, and it's led by their captain, Jenner. She'll get the blue line fired in on net as Davian plays it to the corner. Venisheva goes for a change, giving time for Montreal on this breakout. A great rivalry between the Victoire and the Charge as Markowski down low. The two meeting for the first time in the postseason. Leslie tries for the shot. It gets blocked by Keppel, who continues to lead this league in block shots. Another great effort as she goes for a change. Meiksna for Ottawa. High and hard wrist shot by the Austrian. Stopped by Davian. McMahon gets a hold of this puck for Ottawa. Got a great quote this week saying, "If we can play to our potential, we'll be fine." Good to see Dubois continuing on as this first period comes to a close. Stacey, one more effort here for Montreal. Feathers it ahead, looking for Gardner as Phillips plays it to the corner. Her last two starts against the Victoire. Phillips, as she watches Boyd bring this puck into center. Gabby Hughes gains control. Great stick by Poulin. Pushes her to the outside as she connects with Clark on the inside. Final minute to go in the first period, and we're all tied up at 1. Poulin looking for Stacey on the near side. The two have connected for 10 goals this season. Rather have scored, the other with an assist. As Poulin weighs her options. Right into the stick of Larocque, who stops her up. Barnes will be there for support. Kayla Barnes, a one-time shot by Poulin, stopped by Phillips.
I like that Poulin's taking that shot. A lot of the time she's looking to make passes and looking for a better look for her line mates. And you can see she's possessed right now. She's just come back through the middle of the ice as hard as she could to force play the Ottawa Charge at the line.
D'Arcangelo, shot gets blocked by Keppel. 120 seconds to go. The Charge looking to close out this first period with some time in Montreal's ends. Nice stick waved off. As they look to wind down this clock. Well, the power plays were the difference maker. D'Arcangelo trying for one more shot, but it won't be enough as Bouillet gets the buzzer. Kenzie Malone with you alongside Cheryl Pounder. Kelly Gregg ringside, and in Kelly's interview with Brianne Jenner, she said we're used to having our backs up against the wall. They've been engaged in this style of hockey in the later half of this season. Ottawa starting this breakout, led by Jocelyn Larocque. Stopped up by Stacey. In this trio, their point production has been evident all year long, looking for some depth scoring. I mean, Maureen Murphy finding the score sheet on the power play certainly helps in that department. Out in front, Poulin settles the puck in the slot. She'll try for an on-net play. Rebound, Gardner digging for it. It gets cleared away by Hughes.
Well, and that's off the forecheck, right? You see Laura Stacey just in and on the hunt, and once the puck turns over, looking for Poulin, as well as Gardner net front. So getting nice quick release shots off, but working from below the goal line on the takeaway.
Dubois, who blocked a shot early on in the first period with an open hand, was shaken up on the bench. Return to action out here again in the second period. Barnes from the blue line lets the slap shot go. Gets tipped out in front to the glass. Montreal looking to build off the shot from the blue line. Gabby Hughes to center. Clark, no working traffic. Trying to get by Wilgren, finding success. She gets tied up by O'Neill at the final second. Barnes looking for Abby Boreen, who's been a little quiet, talking about depth scoring. Markowski shot quickly off the face-off. We're back into play in the second period. Nice maintenance issue at the far end, and Phillips next. Back into play as Abby Boreen tries for a far side pass. Montreal goes for a change instead. Ottawa put up 7 shots in that first period. Jenner had 4. Venisheva had 3. That's where a bulk of their shots on net came from as this top line goes to work in Montreal's zone now. Savalainen tries for a shot from the blue line. She's led the defenders in shots on net this season for the Charge.
Well, and Carla McLeod spoke very highly about her with us pregame, just talking about her as a defender and what she's done for this group. They went out and got her an athlete that can step up as she just did, but also can shut down the cycle and play real strong along the wall.
Signed a 3-year deal with the Charge. Savalainen, as Razovag goes back for it. Looking for the stretch pass to Meixner off her inner skate. Boulier spins the glue piece, as head coach Corey Chevry calls her.
And you see Boulier stepping up at the blue line again, trying to negate that speed of this Ottawa team.
Out in front, a loose puck, trying to find it. Boulier swats it away in time. Larocque from the blue line, down low to Boulier. Loose puck, Razova will go for it. She'll try on net, stolen away by Poulin. Off to the races. Marie-Philippe Poulin from Montreal. Far side, takes it in, trying to get by Ashton Bell. Drops it back. Stacey's right there. She'll pick up the loose puck. Stacey along the goal line, comes out in front. Ambrose can keep this play going. She'll walk the line. A wrist shot here, redirected to the corner as Gardner takes a spill in the slot. She'll go for a change. Ren Mentes to the ice for Montreal. Right in time as Leslie gains control at center for Ottawa. She'll flip it in and go for a change.
Well, and you see forcing the dump in. Grant Mentes coming off the ice and again just going right at tracking back.
Off the face-off. Dayton, a pass to Mentes. Near side, Stacey in on the far end. Drops it back for Poulin. Cuts in front. Her shot. Pad saved by Phillips. Marie-Philippe Poulin has the most career points in the PWHL. 51 games, 49 points. Coming into playoff hockey this season. Just remarkable numbers. Few hat tricks at that as well. One against the Ottawa Charge this season. Back on January 29th, it was a 4-1 win right here at Place Bell. Desbiens comes out to settle the puck. Looking to extend her home winning streak. Dalton through center. Chips it in. Loose puck in the corner. Savalainen with a shoulder check. Grant Mentes gets a piece of it. Kept in the zone for Montreal. LaBelle to the blue line. Kempel. Early pass on net. It will go to Phillips. The third periods are the most critical time for Ottawa. Playing a full 60 minutes will be important for them to win this playoff series and a ticket to the finals. Savalainen. Reverse pass to Victoria Bach. Kristen O'Neill down low, battling hard. Savalainen on the pass ahead to Serdachny. With speed, Serdachny through center for Ottawa. Takes a look, finds Bach to the backhand. One more pass off the inner skate of Boulier, but Ottawa still down low with control. Serdachny, far side pass. Along the blue line, low shot here. Desbiens with the pass save, looking for the rebound. Desbiens stretches out and cross. A loose puck here, she scores! A good goal for the Ottawa Charge, and they regain the lead. Ashton Bell drops in, lets the shot go for her first playoff goal.
Well, and this is going to be a huge goal for the Ottawa Charge, and it's about the entry. Serdachny with a nice entry and a nice feed to Victoria Bach, but they were able to recover the pucks, and that was one of our keys to the game for Ottawa, to recover, to get those second shot opportunities, and that's exactly what happens. And Serdachny, who's going to start the play on the entry, is going to keep it alive, making that pass to the defender. I think she's looking to go off Desbiens there, and it's just a bit of a miss because Desbiens is flat on her stomach, and so that shot's going to come from the point, and Larocque is in on it, and so is Ashton Bell, who's going to come through the middle of the ice and find the back of the net because Desbiens is down and out, and so she's going to put in the open basket.
Last time these two teams met, it was a game-winning goal from Ashton Bell. She keeps the goal scoring going. Now all 4 of her goals this season have been scored against the Montreal Victoire. 2-1 Ottawa leads in Bell's first playoff goal.
Oh, you said it. I mean, finding those pockets in those areas and to be able to corral that puck. And that first shot's going to come, and it's just a melee in front of the net. Jocelyn Larocque is activated, and you can see Serdachny. I think she just threw it, trying to get it off of Desbiens, bank it off her and in.
Montreal again looking to respond as Ottawa has the lead. Stacey looking to change that. A long shot. Out in front to the slot, no one's there as Ambrose pulls back. Venishva now gaining speed for Ottawa. Pops his puck ahead. D'Arcangelo trying to send it in deep. Venishva with speed. Has some time in the corner. On net it will go as Desbiens gets the whistle. Ottawa had the fewest goals scored by their defenders in the regular season. They only had 10. However, 3 of their last 4 games, rather 3 goals have been scored by a defender in their last 4 games. Now make that 4 goals. Montreal 1 for 1 in this game on the power play as Poulin bodies Meissner in front of Montreal's bench. Final 12 seconds. It was the shorthanded goal by Bell to give them that 3-2 win. TD plays. Montreal looking to even this up. They did it in the first period. Can they do it in the second? Poulin on the far side. Takes a look. She'll hold deep in the zone. Marie-Philippe Poulin to the blue line for Ambrose. Far side pass. Kayla Barnes now in control. Takes a look for Ambrose. Working it up high is Montreal as Stacey finds Aaron Ambrose again. Down low for Poulin. Taking a look here. Near side as Gardner rolls off. Back up high. Stacey. One-time shot blocked in front by Savalainen. 10-minute gone on Montreal's second power play in the game. Poulin. Stacey. One-time shot. What a shot it was. That's how these two connected in a goal last time. We saw them in front. Gardner with the chance. Phillips with the stop. Ambrose will take a look at it. A shot. Poulin. She scores! Her moment to shine. Marie-Philippe Poulin has tied this game at 2.
Oh, and she takes off to the bench too. Like she shot out of a cannon. And that's exactly what that shot is, but it's all the sequences. There's 3 right-handed shots on this set, but look at the evasiveness, but it's about the recovery again. You got to get to that puck first, and it's Kayla Barnes below the goal line, backhand feet in front of the net to Gardner. Now all of a sudden you got that look you want. You got the sagging coverage, and Poulin all alone. Ambrose with the dish. And the finish by Poulin, looking up into the rafters, and then she takes off like a cannon to Selly with her teammates, and that's just an outstanding shot, but it's the sequence. Corey Chevy said that the power play would be exciting. It would show us something, and it certainly is tonight, but you got the most class player in the world. Her team was down by a goal, and she's going to get her first of the playoffs.
2 power play goals in her playoff career in the PWHL. Poulin does it again, and we're tied at 2. The bigger the stage, the brighter the lights, the more Poulin comes to play, and we are all tied up at 2. Look at Montreal's history and the goals they have scored in the playoffs. Collectively 6, and now 5 of those have come on the power play. That is how critical special teams are to Montreal when they are in playoff hockey.
Well, and you see that Erin Ambrose too. I mean, she is just so efficient with her passing, and she uses her eyes to deceive. I know I've said that over and over and over again, but she actually kind of comes down into the coverage before she gives that puck to Poulin, and so she will shrink the zone, but she knows how to manipulate her opponent and their stick to open up the lane to make the pass she wants.
Takes the face off there, and charge fired in deep into Montreal's end. Ambrose on the assist on that Poulin power play goal for her 3rd career assist in the playoffs. Taven looking to the center. Gardner also picking up her first playoff point at the secondary. Down low. Jen Gardner for Poulin. Protects Poulin in front to Gardner. Can't get the shot off. And the Charger on the attack. We talk about this transition team, and they are in the zone against Montreal. Meissner on the outside. Feathers it on net. Desbiens gets taken down in the crease by Leslie.
That's exactly what the Charge have to do.
And the 2 are tied up behind the play.
Well, the Chargers are able to get in, and even Leslie on debut there because they have quick counter. It's got to be quick puck movement, and that's what the Victoire want to take away. They want to take away their strength by pushing them back and taking away the neutral zone.
Wilgren fires it in. She's also got her first playoff point. Secondary assist on Murphy's power play goal. In the zone, Markowski against Dubois. O'Neill stepping in. Gabby Hughes seeing if she can pull it out. O'Neill with success, wraps it out in front. Willoughby in the zone. To the blue line. Wilgren with a fake. Her shot blocked in front. A loose puck. Hughes will pick it up. In the hands of O'Neill. She gets tied up at center. It's a loose puck, and Barnes will head on it. Looking to win a consecutive championship. Kayla Barnes last year wrapped up her college career, NCAA champion.
We'll have to go all the way here as Phillips will get the hold. The dying seconds, the whistle comes in just in time as LaBelle takes a few hellos net front. All tied up at 2 in Place Bell. It's game 1, the playoffs.
Arcangelo steals this puck. For Ottawa can't chip it out. Poulin cuts back. In tight spaces. She does some of her best work as Barnes to the far side, and it's on net from Wilgren. Gardner drops it back for Poulin. Gardner put up 13 assists this season. 6 on Marie-Philippe Poulin's goals. Fans wanting a call as her captain got tied up along the blue line. Darkangelo now running out of time, but she lets the shot go. Jenner looking for a play out in front as Montreal steals it away. Stacey to center. She'll go after it. Takes a look. Stacey's shot redirected off a few bodies into the corner.
Opening up a little bit here. A little bit of a track meet this last shift.
So Poulin made this a 2-2 game. When either Poulin or Stacey scores, Montreal a 17-3-1 record. And when they don't, 2-5-2 record.
But the generator's pretty good too on the other side, isn't she?
What a remarkable rookie season. At the other end for Jenner, the captain of the Charge. Another great record when she finds the score sheet. 13-1 for Ottawa. Grandmentes tying up Boyd to the blue line. Amanda Boulier walks the line. Tipped in front. Grandmentes gets a hold of it. On net it will go. A toss by Phillips, and another one. A busy period for both goaltenders in this game. But Bell's going to go for a change as this board battle's underway. Dalton gets pushed off the puck. She's had 7 shots on net in the last 2 regular season games, Dalton. She gets pinned by Vasco.
Nice communication by Keppel there, just to Murphy to back me up.
Vasco the other way as Bach has control on the outside. Backhand looking to defeat Savalainen, but she can't get the pass through. Montreal out shooting Ottawa 23-13 now in this game. Maureen Murphy scored the first playoff goal this season for Montreal. Spins back. No one's along the blue line. That gives time for Meitzner to use her speed.
A great one-on-one by Erin Ambrose.
Katarina Mrazova to Markowski, who joins in on the rush. Her puck gets redirected. Stephanie Markowski to Leslie, who holds a low shot from the blue line from the Ottawa native. Ambrose pinned up by Mrazova, has help from Boreen. Kirilova along the blue line with Mrazova. High pass, taking a look in front. Great read from Boreen. Under 7 to go in the second period. Tied at 2. Ottawa enters the zone. It's led by Emily Clark.
In front, a nice move. Desbiens sees it and will get the whistle.
Desbiens, great career record against the Charge. 7 wins, just 2 losses. Wilgren sends it in.
We really need to find ways to generate that speed. I do think that the Victoire doing a nice job of closing and tracking through the neutral zone.
McMahon for Ottawa with speed. On net it will go. Clark there looking for a wraparound play. Clark, another chance to the far end for Ottawa. Savalainen, Boyd calls for it. Zoe Boyd's high shot blocked in front by Wilgren. Montreal with a strong clear. Savalainen picked up in the second round last year's draft. Gardner a chance here. Gardner holds. Shields, and it's blocked in front by Boyd. Putting her body on the line. Poulin, another shot. Stacey, a shoulder save by Phillips.
Puck heads into the stands, and what a sequence. Montreal's top line looking to cash through again. We're all tied at 2 in Game 1 of the 2025 PWHL playoffs presented by Shark Ninja.
Phillips comes out to settle the puck. Ashton Bell takes a look to center to Darkangelo. Moves it ahead. Jenner with speed on the far side as Venetia Moe with her. Can't get through the legs of Wilgren. She'll stop up and reverse this pass straight down into her own zone. Phillips recognizes Stacey's not far behind. She'll send it to safety.
Poulin to the backhand. Graham Mentis is long shot into the glove of Phillips.
Graham Mentis turns it away into the corner. Dalton gets pinned. To the blue line. Boulier snaps it. Campbell connects to Graham Mentis. Terralova steals it away. Serdachny chasing after her. She's got her first playoff point. And the primary assist to Bell's goal here in the second period. And the Rock as well picking up her first playoff point with the Ottawa Charge. The Rock averaged 28 minutes and 41 seconds in her 5 games played with the Scepters last season. Haven't seen those numbers quite yet this season with the Charge. Serdachny comes in, stopped up by Ambrose into her feet. To loose puck. Boyd will pinch as Graham Mentis comes away. A 2-on-1 for Montreal. Abby Boreen on the near side as Graham Mentis challenging. Boreen shot, shoulder save by Phillips. What a sequence for Montreal and a great back check by Zoe Boyd.
And that's that odd player rush, right? You got to be careful you take care of business. If you miss that puck, it's going to be tough. And that was a blistering shot by Boreen.
Down low, Ottawa looking to recover. Heading back the other way. 15-game goalless streak right now. Came out of the gate hot with Montreal this season. First played semifinal playoff hockey with the Frost last season. Wrote for finals earlier. Pharmacy student so that she could play in Game 1. LaRock looking for a tip in front off of Mrazova's stick.
Well, that was quite an individual effort by Mrazova. Just looped it into the air, tapped it out of the air, and then came back around for the deflection. That would have been something if she was able to bury it.
She's often talked about that deception to her game. You really don't know what Mrazova's next move is going to be. Just so high-skilled. Has that compete effort. Eichsner trying to prohibit Dubois from going any further. Amanda Boulier. Off the inner pass of O'Neill. We'll be familiar with some of these players. I played with them in the Calgary Inferno, like Jenner. Rebecca Leslie as well back in 2019. Park on the near side. Far side play this time, looking for Markowski. She'll go to the race, trying to beat Taven. Gardner reverse pass to Poulin. The Montreal Victoire on the attack, led by their captain. Poulin pulls it in. Her shot gets blocked by Terralova. Ottawa's defenders getting in the lanes here as the Victoire trying to increase their shot count. Still leading against Ottawa. Every game Montreal's won this season, they've been able to outshoot Ottawa in their season series.
You're watching Ottawa right now move the puck quicker north right away, and because of it, they're generating a little bit more. They're getting that speed through the neutral zone. At least the very least, they're getting in with some numbers.
As head coach Cron McLeod said, we've been playing playoff hockey for a bulk of the regular season. Jenner, who's elevated her game, her long shot just wide.
I don't think she knew that she had Boyd coming down the middle of the ice who had activated again. We're seeing a lot of defenders jump in, especially to support the play. It's the modern day game. You would have seen Becky Kellerai north of the blue line. There's no question about it.
Come on. Ashton Bell for Ottawa. Feeds it off to LaRock, who has said that she didn't find her offensive game. She wouldn't have played so long. She wouldn't be continuing to play at the highest level. She had to adapt to the more modern game. Venetia Moe to center. Kept in front. A chance for Leslie. Debut sprawls out.
Leslie looking for that birthday goal, but she does draw the penalty.
Poulin swats it away. The Charge on the power play, led by Serdachny. Moving it ahead, connects with Clark. Into the corner, Barnes first on it. Serdachny drops it away. Hit by Poulin. Play will continue on.
Well, part of the problem there, Serdachny coming at the ice just missed the target on Clark, who had speed. So now all of a sudden she has to put that puck in, and now all of a sudden the puck's on the boards and Poulin using her body.
Charge on the power play. Their third of the game, a shot blocked in front. Willoughby on the far end as the buzzer sounds. Minute 9 seconds to begin the third period for the Charge on the power play, and we're all tied at 2. An overtime thriller courtesy of Catalina Mrazova to punch their ticket to the playoffs as we open up this third period on the power play. Under a minute for the Charge to get started with the player advantage. Jenner open to scoring in this game on the power play. Tabin down low up against Jenner. Ambrose comes out with it in a hard feed but can't get through Mrazova. D'Arcangelo scoops up the puck. Centering pass to Venishova. Scores most of her goals in the third period. Theresa Venishova, 15 goals on the season, 8 coming in the final frame. They'll need her to come up big in this third period. To the power play they go. Venishova tipped in front. Davies covering up the rebound, and the whistle blows. Under 15 seconds to go. O'Neill fires it down. Phillips settles the puck. And her first ever playoff start here for the Charge. Out comes Keppel. Straight in. Good timing for her up against Venishova. Charge landing one shot on that power play. Willoughby gets a hold of it. Connects with Poulin. Marie-Philippe Poulin with great patience. Turns back to the blue line for Wilgren. A chance for Stacey on the backhand. Swatted away by Hughes. She'll chase after it. Stacey with momentum. Out in front, a loose puck. Venishova will pick it up. David jumps on it. Off the glass, redirected. LaRock trying to beat Abby Borey, who's had a few good looks in this game. And her scoreless drought. Boreen, loose puck. Clark looking for a quick pass. Turnover, a chance for Youngblood. Her shot wide for Montreal. Youngblood, just 23 years old here with Montreal, the youngest player on this Victoire roster. In October, a month later than Jen Gardner.
Each 3 goals and 3 assists, 45 shots on goal so far this season, and she was devastated at the World Championship as Sweden's lost, so have some punch to her game.
Started off this season on the top line, working with the likes of Poulin and Stacey. Found some time at the centering position as of late.
And she's got a great shot, and she does have a quick release. Just got to get to the right spots to be able to get it off.
2-2, a tie game. Savalainen with some speed through center. She'll go end to end. Savalainen cuts in front, trying to get the shot off. Montreal feeds it to center. Alexandra Lamel on the far side for Montreal. Takes it in wide. Beats Markowski into the corner. Wilgren pinches. Out in front, heading into the skates of Bach. Now she looks on as Markowski will look to settle it again. Serdachny, point for her in this first playoff game with the Charge. Pops it back. Bach trying to get the shot off. Claire Dalton for Montreal as this puck heads back the other way. LaBelle sends it in. She'll go for a change. Sweet Montreal practicing at the University of Montreal. Home of the Carabao, and LaBelle and Dubois won U Sports Championship in 2016. So how about that? Prepping for your second round of playoff action in 2025 in the rink you won your U Sport Championship title in. General manager of that team, Danielle Sauvageau. Assistant coach, Pascal Baouz, general manager of the Sirens. Hockey Roots run deep here in Quebec. Dubois now out there for Montreal, chasing after it. In against Boyd, loose puck. Dubois using her frame, but Razova steals it away.
Well, you'll often see, especially the third and fourth line for Montreal, they will dump the puck in and they'll look to recover it. They're heavy. They're really strong on the forecheck, and it's sort of been their bread and butter throughout the course of the season, just in the way they can recover pucks.
Poulin to Bouillet. Back to center. D'Arcangelo's right there, kept in the zone.
That's a great play by D'Arcangelo. She was above Poulin, so when she seals her, she's above her.
Finished third in team points in the regular season for Ottawa. Also been great in the faceoff dot as of late, and also last 2 games against Montreal, 70% in the dot for the Ottawa Charge against the Victoire.
And faceoff's so important, you know, and both of these teams, we've spoken to the coaches and how much they've worked on them. Of course, the Charge, really a thorn in their side at the beginning of the year, and they've worked hard on it. And Carl McLeod talked about how their numbers have elevated. They've gotten much better in that department.
Scepters as well spent some time this season working on face-offs. Boreen for Montreal. It's some space. Not much time. Terralova trying to steer her to the corner. The puck heads to the blue line. Wilgren will go back for it.
Oh, and that's a nice play by Terralova. There's a little bit of spacing, so you got to use your stick to close, and that's exactly what she did on Boreen, who just threw it to the point.
Montreal has won 12 one-goal games this season. Nobody's more familiar to a close game than Ottawa. They've had their backs up against the wall for a lot of the play this season, regular play, and they got out early. In the first period, Jenner on the power play. Salalainen seals this puck away. Her shot into the glove of Desbiens. A lot of goaltending injuries this season. Franco Mashmeyer as well for the Charge. Important to have a strong number 2, and one of the hardest jobs to get in the PWHL. A goaltending position. Razova in the zone for Ottawa. Takes a look to center. Off the face-off, Wilgren keeps it in. A shot on net, and it gets redirected to the near corner. Puck had eyes. This puck along the half boards, looking for a quick pass to Poulin, to the corner for Stacey. This trio back to work from Corey Chevry. Eric Gregg in front, a shot stopped by Phillips. Wilgren will tee another one up. Gregg getting some time here with Poulin and Stacey. Barnes and Wilgren on the blue line. Up down by Salalainen. Another block shot here by the Charge defenders.
Smart play by Poulin. Just took a little bit of a step and a side glance. Recognized that Stacey wasn't onside, so went back to Wilgren. Now all of a sudden they're able to put it in deep. They get the change, and they can be on the hunt in proper structure.
Leslie had to get helped off the ice there. Her skate blade popped out. It's on the ice right now. Luckily, she was near the bench, so not a fall crawl for her. And her 29th birthday here today, game 1 of the playoffs. Ashton Bell connects up high with Vinisheva. Dubois tied up. That puck heads back down in the Montreal zone. Jenner right there.
Head up.
Bouillet moving it ahead, looking for Willoughby. Certainly gotten her ice time since coming over to the Victoire. Started her career with the Scepters. Maureen Murphy into the zone for Montreal. Phillips keeps his puck down low. Passes it off to her defender, Markowski. To the wing, a clean breakout for Ottawa. Vasco moving it to Bach on the far side, but gets tripped up.
Well, that's just, again, that's a really nice play by Youngblood, coming through the middle of the ice, tracking back, and something Corey Chevry said that they've worked on is, you know, with a couple of practices focused on one team, they could actually focus on what they would need to do against Ottawa in particular, and you got to believe that the neutral zone was a big part of it.
Markowski to Bach at the far side. Childhood friends with Danielle Serdachny, now the two going to work in the playoffs for the Charge. Maureen Murphy steals it away. Her shot low and hard. Just wide though with Phillips. Taven keeps it in at the near side. Murphy goes for a change as Terralova sets up down low. Her first playoff point here in game 1. 1 goal of the season. Game against Boston. Poulin for Montreal to center. Stacey! A shot while falling. What a move for Stacey. We've seen her do that before in overtime fashion. And finding the back of the net, that was at the Bell Center. Now down low, Poulin again looking to make a move. Wilgren crunched into the boards. Gardner trying to find Barnes on the near side. McMahon the other way. Has Clark with her. Emily Clark for Ottawa. To D'Arcangelo in her lane. She scores! Ottawa regains the lead. Cheyenne D'Arcangelo finds the back of the net.
Well, Cheyenne D'Arcangelo is going to get on the board here, and just Gardner's able to get that puck and just put it along the boards, and it's going to make its way high. So she's caught outside the dot, and that is a seeing eye shot because you've got McMahon on the doorstep. I'm not sure whether or not Anne-Renee Desbiens sees this, but an opportunity at one end and a massive save by Gwyneth Phillips, and it winds up in the back of the net as D'Arcangelo gets the go-ahead goal, and the bench erupts, but not the stoic Carla McLeod.
Cheyenne D'Arcangelo, her first playoff goal, her second ever goal against Montreal this season. Doesn't get much bigger than that.
Well, she's had 6 points in her last 4 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. So that is a massive, massive goal for her and a nice shot as well.
A remarkable play. Cheyenne D'Arcangelo continuing the scoring spree that she is having this season. I just 1 assist last year. Put up 17 points this season with the Charge. As Desbiens makes the save.
Secondary was needed as Jenner was right on the doorstep. The former Toronto 6 captain gets it done for the Charge. D'Arcangelo makes it a 3-2 game for Ottawa. D'Arcangelo, the difference maker here in the third period. Emily Clark also picking up her first playoff point with the assist.
Ottawa leads 3-2 against Montreal in the third period. Has certainly been a thorn in the side of the Charge this season. Leslie tries for a shot with fresh blades. Leslie shot just high and hits the netting. Down low, the look to try again in front. Razova with speed. She'll pick up the puck. Katarina Razova looking for Boyd. She'll have to retreat to center.
It's a nice puck movement there and just around the horn and keeping the feet moving, and that's something that the Charge have to do. I think there's an injury on the ice here as Meixon is down after taking a hit.
Right in front of the bench, Meixon helped off. She's attended to. We'll keep our eyes on Anna Meixon here of Ottawa as Montreal tries to feed this puck back to center. Under 10 to go in the third. Gabby Hughes with Ottawa chips it ahead. A quiet start to her regular season has certainly found the scoring sheet as of late. Hughes' first 10 games, just 1 assist. Backdoor Hughes looking for her 6th and first in the postseason. A great look for Ottawa as they're finding their game here in the final frame.
Well, it's because they're moving it north right away. I mean, they're not holding on to it too long and allowing Montreal to get to the structure to close on them and push them back.
Rankowski picking up the puck for Ottawa. Off the skate of LaBelle. Ashton Bell will try again. She'll flip it to center. LaBelle, another glove at center. Mariah Keppel here for Montreal. Connects with Stacey. Out wide. Laura Stacey out in front. Gardner just wide. A great look for Jen Gardner. Looking for her first goal in the postseason. Loose puck. Poulin gets there first. Meixon still being attended to on the bench here for Ottawa. After taking a tough hit right in front of Lake Julian from Montreal's bench.
Boulier from the blue line. Tipped in front. Phillips with a glove save.
A chance, just wide. Great look for the captain. Stacey now deep in the zone. Top line to work for the Victoire as they find themselves down by 1. Still looking for their first ever playoff win. In front, swatted away by the Charge. Lost all 3 games last year to Boston. Another wraparound play.
Backhand shot stopped by Phillips.
Well, and Phillips has been outstanding with some high danger chances that she's been able to save. And again, just on the boards, you can see the backhand wrap by Laura Stacey and coming through the middle of the ice is Poulin to get her hands on it. And Gardner's fighting for space. Because of that, she's drawn D'Arcangelo and even Bell towards her. And it just creates a little bit of room for Poulin to get through and get a shot off. And Phillips is able to squeeze that right arm and block her, making sure she hugs that puck.
Barnes from the blue line, her shot off the backboards. There's nothing like a Laura Stacey wraparound. It's her signature move.
And it used to be just driving north all the time and, you know, always looking for the dot. And she's really just evolved as a player as well. She'll pull up, she'll delay, wait for line mates now. But when she's below the goal line, a lot of the time you know exactly what she's doing. And a lot of the time you can't stop it.
Playing a complete game right now. Laura Stacey, her best hockey of her career. Ottawa goes for a change. Barnes ahead for Maureen. Far side pass to Youngblood. Looking for Maureen Murphy. 2 playoff goals now for her in her playoff career. Leslie into the hands of Murphy. Barnes now for Montreal. Flips it to center. David only had 1 game after the international break under her belt. She had to serve her 2-game suspension. Full healthy lineup though for the Victoire heading into playoffs. Markowski for Ottawa. Leads it to center, glove down by Boulier.
I don't mind that play by Markowski, right? No one's available. Put it into the neutral zone, reset, get back up between the dots and protect the blue line.
O'Neill into the bench, she'll go. And she'll go for a change as well. She'll stay right there. Got pushed in by, I think it was Taylor.
That's a good way to get there.
Got some help by the opponents. As Shelby looks on, she said last year's series against Boston, that is in the past. It's a brand new team. As we take another look at that hit from Taylor into the bench. She's holding on. Put the leg right over and now back out on the ice. Venishava, one-time shot. Davier makes the save.
Gwyneth Phillips is back as well, and she is between the pipes, has a 27 save performance so far, but there's been a lot of high dangers in and around the net. She's been tracking it well. She's been able to hold on to pucks. She's been keeping it at bay, but most importantly, she's been holding down the fort with some grade A saves. And she's good in the lower half of her net, and she's been ready for the shots, in particular that top line for the Victoire, who have put 14 shots on goal alone of the 31 that their team has put on her. But simply outstanding in terms of her willingness to get to the top of her crease, play aggressive.
Just so dialed in right now.
8-5-1 record for Phillips this season, including 2 shutouts. Jenner to center. Venishava cuts in. Poke checked away by Taven. Our side, Jocelyn Laurent. Our first playoff point here tonight. Looking for D'Angelo. Aaron Ambrose now has 8 career assists against the Charge. Remarkable numbers as Poulin comes in.
It's a great one-on-one by Ashton Bell there. Just uses her stick to push to the outside and kind of swarm Poulin in numbers.
Puck heads into the Charge bench. 5:01 remaining. Montreal continues to outshoot the Charge here in this game, 31-24. Gap closing a little bit for the Charge as this game's gone on.
That's right, and so Phillips with 29 saves has been outstanding.
Her first ever playoff start, and a seamless transition for her. Loose puck in the corner, Maureen takes a look. She's pinned up. 2-1 battle in favor of Ottawa. Montreal sends some numbers. Youngblood heading up front as Maureen tries to gain a hold of it. Youngblood off her backhand. Razava sends right back to the corner. Boyd chips it around, Mike's up. Back out on the ice, which is good to see him. And takes a big hit there from Barnes. Savalainen to center. 2-on-1 unfolding for Ottawa. Rania Savalainen pulls it back to center. Leslie shoots, and it's a stop by Desbiens.
Well, this is all going to start in their own zone, and Ottawa is able to win the board battle to be able to get that puck out, and they're going to create an odd player rush. Nice job to stay onside. The pullback by Savalainen. Anytime you pop back into a pocket to be able to get that puck, you can see it right there. The one-timer, it's the rolling puck. It doesn't get elevated as much as that. You would have thought it would have gone up, but right square to it is Hermione Desbain able to hold on with just over 4 minutes remaining in this third period.
Face off to the left of Desbain. Markowski. She'll go for a low shot. Another whistle here. And Renee Desbain came into this game having played 247 minutes in playoff action, 95 saves, at a .931 save percentage against Boston last year, but still looking for that first win as they find themselves down by 1 with 4:19 remaining. Fans would love to see the Walter Cup hoisted in Montreal. Head coach Corey Chevry saying at the start of the season, not afraid to set that as our goal and say that that is what we want to accomplish this season. As Poulin and Dubois, this time O'Neill's high shot off the glass. Great feed from Dubois. To the left of Desbain, Hughes tied up with Dubois. A few extracurriculars after the whistle.
Well, and discipline is going to be pivotal right now for the Charge, and also game management, making sure that they're taking care of business in their own zone. And you can see the stand up at the blue line there, and that first shot's going to come off, and it's all on recovery and fighting and hunting, and it's going to be Hughes and Dubois going at it. And Hughes doesn't have a stick, so she's saying, not me. I'm not holding you down.
Off the face-off, Stacey, shot save made by Phillips. Another set play off the face-off for Montreal, and Phillips tall to task. Emily Clark, tied up by Barnes.
Offside the call.
Well, Carla McLeod spoke to us about her team and the confidence, Kens, and how important it is, in particular the backdrop of their season, to play those meaningful games and tight games that they had to eke out, right at the end of the game, able to find regulation wins.
Put up 12 regulation wins on the season, the same as Montreal, and that's really what helped Ottawa in the tiebreaker situation. They put up 4 more regulation wins this season than last year, one of the greatest improvements of any team. And that is what ultimately helped them out in the tiebreakers. Poulin now on the far side, gets by D'Arcangelo, looks to get by Vanisheva, but she'll send a hit instead and steal this puck away. Ashton Bell down low for Ottawa. Vanisheva to center, connects with Jenner. Brianne Jenner comes in all alone up against Taven, and it's a great stick by Katie Taven. Steals it away as LaBelle has an angle. She'll use the glass, looking for Green Mentes on the near side. Erin Ambrose back for Taven. Moving it ahead. That goes the distance as Green Mentes is tied up, and fans wanted a call there as icing will be the deciding factor.
So this puck's going to come down to the Victoire end, and so now, it's also about recognizing who you want on the ice. Corey Chevry's got 2.5 minutes here, so she's looking at the clock. She knows she's got to get her top players rested and an opportunity to get out there. She's going to yank
ARD from the blue line, a shot just wide. Savalainen had 2 looks on it. About off the glass. Grant Mentes tries to get by Boyd. Montreal getting stuck in their own end here.
Well, and timing is everything, right? And got to win the face-off, and that's going to be the biggest part. We spend a lot of time talking about game management for Ottawa as well, and really got to watch their pinches now, make sure their F3 is high in really good position.
Both teams changing personnel.
Well, O'Neill really strong in the dot as well, coming in to take the face-off.
O'Neill on the draw for Montreal. 7.9% in the regular season play in the face-off dot.
She'll win it back. Barnes a quick pass over. And just like that, Montreal's out of their zone. Little B through the legs of Youngblood. Into the corner it will go. Under 2.5 remaining. Youngblood for Montreal. They'll need to find a way. Down by 1 with 9 minutes of this third period. Clark gets taken out right at the center. She's going to go for a change. Now shaken up on the play.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Poulin now on the way up the ice get Emrene off.
Offside, the call right as the captain had that on her stick all alone in the offensive zone.
Well, a lot of the time you'll see the goaltender come when their team has possession of the puck, and everything's starting to come because Poulin's on the ice and she's offside by quite a distance there, but it's worth a shot.
Gotta go for it. Face off just outside Montreal's end. Poulin on the draw. Gardner sends it to her defenders. Ambrose to Poulin. Desbiens watching the bench. And she'll go. Off goes Anne-Renee Desbiens. Montreal sending the extra attacker. It will be Catherine Dubois. Montreal will go back for it as Venetia was picking up speed. Barnes recognizes final seconds. Steers that puck to safety. Montreal the extra attacker. 6 on 5. They'll push here. Down by 1. A minute and a half to go in game 1 against Ottawa. As offside's the call.
So that's a tough offside as that puck will come out, and you can see some frustration there. And they likely go back in.
She'll look for a direction, and Desbiens will head back to her net. Faceoff will be in front of Montreal's bench.
So a little bit of a line change. Oh, no, thought it was as Dubois was on the ice, but Corey Chevry electing to keep that top line out there.
Face-off just in front of the Victoire bench. Ashton Bell gets a hold of it. Moves it ahead off the stick. Near side of Clark. Gardner feeding it right back down. Abby Hughes for Ottawa. In the Montreal zone, Clark with great speed, trying to beat Montreal's captain. She'll get the better positioning. Takes a hit from Poulin. Abby Hughes right there for help. She'll get taken down along the boards. Kayla Barnes now passes it off to Ambrose. Deep in their own zone. Barnes winds down this clock. A minute to go. Montreal down by 1. Stacey at center. Sends it near side. Desbiens far out of her crease now. She looks for the wave. Desbiens watching. She'll stay back as Ottawa engages in a board battle. Desbiens right in her slot looking, and she'll go. Off goes Desbiens, and out comes Abby Boreen for Montreal. 6 on 5. Montreal will push here under 40 seconds to go. Boreen. Poulin calls for it. Boreen feeds it down. Mrazova now for Ottawa in full control. Katarina Mrazova was the overtime hero last weekend to punch their ticket to the playoffs. An empty net ahead. Poulin steers it to Ambrose for safety. Now connects with Barnes at the middle of the ice. Under 20 seconds remaining. Montreal in the offensive zone. Boreen down low for Poulin. Taking a look on net, it will go. Phillips was ready for it. Under 10 seconds to go. Poulin, final seconds. Her shot blocked by Ashton Bell. And what a push. The Victoire can't find a way as Ashton Bell steers it away, and that will do it. In their first ever playoff game, the Ottawa Charge get their first ever win as they take down the Victoire 3-2.
Brianne Jenner and her team silenced the crowd tonight at Place Bell. The valiant effort, especially at the end of the game. The extra attacker on the ice, and Ashton Bell with a fabulous last shift to push to the outside, block shot, front her player, and just put the puck to safety.
Ottawa Charge, a 3-2 win. Cheyenne Darkangelo with the game-winning goal, her third of the season. And for the Ottawa Charge, their first ever win at Place Bell this season, and it doesn't get much better than this. A playoff win as they take a 1-0 lead in this series. And for Gwyneth Phillips, her first ever playoff start, and she will get the win. A full team effort here for the Charge to get the victory. And you got to do it. The game-winning goal for the Ottawa Charge. Cheyenne Darkangelo picks the corner, an effortless goal for her. She makes it look so easy.
She had an excellent game beyond the shot, holding up as the game winner. I thought she was fabulous in front of the net. She tracked Bell back extremely well above position, and overall just a fantastic 200-foot game.
A 3-2 final courtesy of the road team. It's a Charge take a 1-0 series lead against Montreal. On behalf of myself, Kenzie Lalone, Cheryl Pounder, Kelly Gregg, and our entire PWHL broadcast crew, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.